Welcome to the module on rigid pavement. In today's module, we will be talking about the surface texturing in PQC surface using tines. Generally, two methods are adopted for texturing the PQC surface in both either in transverse or in longitudinal directions. One is by adopting the brush, and the second is by adopting the tines. So in this particular module, we will be talking about texturing by tines. So before going for texturing the surface, the PQC surface needs to be ready for texturing. In order to do that, what is being done is a longitudinal float is used, operated from a footbridge to smoothen the surface. The testing For testing the trueness of the surface for the designed alignment, a 3-meter straight edge is used and made the surface ready to receive the texturing impact. So after final floating and finishing of the slab and before application of the liquid curing membrane, the concrete surface is textured in transverse or longitudinal direction as the contract demands by using either a brush or tines. The texturing shall be done by tining the finished concrete surface by using a rectangular steel tines. Longitudinal tining shall be done if specified in the contract. The texturing bridge shall be wide enough to cover the entire width of the carriageway, but within 75 millimeters from the edge. The center to center spacing between the tines shall be 18 to 21 millimeters in general for longitudinal tines, but in case of a transverse tining, it varies from 10 to 21 millimeters. The width of the tine texture shall be 3 millimeters and depth shall be 3 to 4 millimeters in general. When the texturing is specified in transverse direction, a beam of at least 3 meter length mounted with tines shall be moved in transverse direction to produce the texture. The grooves produced shall be at random spacing of grooves but uniform in width and depth. This should be the spacing between the tines, that is starting from 10, 14, 16 from the one end to the other end in sequence. So if the width of the texturing is more, then the same sequence can be repeated again and again. A beam or a bridge mounted with steel tines shall be equipped and operated with automatic sensing and control devices from the main paver or an auxiliary unit. The auxiliary unit, often called as a texturing and curing machine, or in short TCM. The TCM does what the TCM does is the texturing is being done in the direction of the paving, and this is the first activity. And once the texturing is done, then the curing will start from behind. So texture depth requirement, if you see, the surface of the slab shall be tined, textured in the transverse direction. Tines are used for this purpose. The width of the tine texture shall be 3 millimeters and the depth shall be 3 to 4 millimeters. The test to check the requirements are the gauge measurement using the tire tread depth gauge, that is measurement of width, depth and the spacing between the tines. So these are the typical photographs showing how the texturing will look like, and each set of textures, if you see, like with a wide gap in between, then each type of textures, the spacing between the tines are being reflected as if you move from left to right of your screen, the first spacing will be 10, then 14, 16, 11, 10, 13, 15, 16, 11, 10, 21, 13 and 10. This should be the sequence as per the standards and Morse requirement. But more or less these are the gaps which one has to maintain, as far as the tine spacing is concerned. You can see that when the texturing is going on the texture surface, you don't see any curing over there. Curing is separately being carried out, which is again attached to the same movement, but curing is just being done on the surface where the texturing is being done. So once the texturing is covered throughout the width and the texture brush is reached to the end, the paver is moved forward and the texture brush was lifted up, and then again the curing will move from the left side to the right side. That means the texture surface is getting the first coat of curing as the texture brush is lifted and moved to the original position to start the new texturing from the right to left side. So this is what is basically the photograph shows. Now, as you see, the texturing is not being done, but you have the curing operations proceeding on the surface. So as it reaches to the extreme right, it waits, and then the texturing in the new area is started. You can see that probably, yeah, this is being visible here. The texturing is started, and then the second coat of curing is also started. But when you see a spot like this, it is not completely cured. Now this is what is being done. So this is what is exactly happening with the texturing and curing machine. That means texture will be done first, then on the texture surface you will have the curing first coat and then the second coat. So how do you measure how do you check with the tined texture on a PQC surface? That is the texture depth measurement. For that we use the gauge here. Now the apparatus required to conduct the test are tire tread depth gauge, which is basically a stainless steel tire tread depth gauge with graduations at least count of 1 millimeters. The gauge end may be modified to measure the depth of the tine textures. A stainless steel caliper to measure the spacing of the tines. A wire brush, a carborundum stone, a steel straight edge to remove the snots, if any, sticking to the surface. The straight edge may be of 6 meters by 25 into 300 millimeters size. So this is the first apparatus which we are talking about. This is the stainless steel tire tread depth gauge used to measure the depth of 3 to 4 millimeters texture in PQC. Then coming to the next apparatus, which is basically a stainless steel caliper to measure the spacing between the tines, which is ranging from 10 millimeters to 21 millimeters. And the third apparatus which is important in this particular test is basically the carborundum stone, which is generally used for removing the slurry or the projections of the textured areas. Like when we do the tine texture, possibly if the slurry is more, it will project on top of the surface of PQC. So those surfaces can be leveled and cleaned using the carborundum stone so that your gauge can sit on the surface properly and accurate depth can be measured. So this is a stainless steel straight edge, which is generally used to generally used to check the levels or the flatness of the surface where the gauge has to sit to measure the depth. Now coming to the procedure of checking the texture depth when the texturing is being done by timing is for each 75 meters section along the diagonal line, 10 points shall be selected for making the check of depth, width and spacing of tine grooves. The surface where the tests are to be conducted shall be cleared carefully with a wire brush or steel straight edge or using a carborundum plate to remove any projection, upward projection of concrete. When the base plate of the gauge is in contact with the concrete surface, the gauge shall be pressed to the bottom of the groove and the depth shall be measured and recorded at this location. At the same location, the spacing of the tines shall be measured to verify whether the pattern recommended in clause 602.9.11.1 as shown below is complied or not. That means whether the spacing is in sequence of 10, 14, 16, 11, 10 or 21, 13, 10 or not. If at all it is not in that sequence, but these numbers should match, the spacing of the spectrum measured at 10 locations shall be recorded separately. The average depth shall be 3 to 4 millimeters. When the depth is less than 2.5 millimeters and in excess of 4.5 millimeters, the contractors shall stop concreting till he corrects his tine brush or replaces it with the new one. The sensors associated with the work shall be again calibrated to achieve the required texture. This is very important that one has to keep in mind that when the depth is less than 2.5 millimeters, then also you have an issue. If the depth is more than 4.5 millimeters, then also you have the issues. Generally, the depth is when the depth is less than 4.5, less than 2.5 millimeters. That means either the concrete is too stiff or the texturing is delayed too long, so that the tines are not able to penetrate properly, or the depth of or the pressure given to do the texturing using tines. That means the height adjustment is not proper. And similarly, when the texture depth is more than 4.5 millimeters, that means the concrete is very loose, or the stiff, or the gap between the or the pressure on or the pressure on the tines is too heavy, so that those the tines can be penetrated to a deeper section. Requirements of texture brush. If you see, the textured grooves less than 2.5 millimeters shall be regrooved using a concrete saw at the cost of course, at the cost of contractors. Variation in texture width in the range of 3 plus 1 millimeters and 3 minus 0.5 millimeters will be acceptable. If the variation of width is in excess of this range, the work should stop and correct the brush and techniques used to do the texturing activities. When the spacing of the spectrum is not satisfactory, the contractor should replace the entire wire brush. Precautions during texturing. The tining units shall have the facility for adjustment of the download pressure on the tines as necessary to produce the desired finish. That means with respect to the depth, then the depth should be in the range of 3 millimeters to 4 millimeters. The tining racks shall be cleaned often to remove snots of slurry, so that it will not face any difficulty as it penetrates down the concrete surface. That means the force of friction for penetration should be less. The tines shall be inspected daily, and at all the damages and bent tines shall be replaced quickly before commencing the new texturing activities. Tine grooves shall be 3 millimeters wide and 3 to 4 millimeters in deep. One has to keep this in mind and must ensure that the tined texture should follow these specifications. Before commencing the texturing, the bleeding water, if any, shall be removed, and texturing shall be done on a firm surface. So to summarize this module, we talked about the texturing, the different types of texturing. That is, texturing can be done by using brush, or it can be done by tines. The method of texturing, like how are we going to do the texturing, whether it is longitudinal or in the transverse directions. Then the test of texturing to ensure whether the requirement is being fulfilled as far as the depth is concerned for texturing using the tines. In the next module, we will be covering how to do surface texturing of PQC using brush applications and its test methodologies. Till then, thank you.